Although the ARM ecosystem is extremely popular now, and the chips of chip giants such as Apple and Qualcomm can often beat the flagship chips of Intel and AMD in running test, once we enter the actual application scenario, we will find that many productivity software can only run in the Windows plus x86 ecosystem. Apple's Mac OS can only be used for multimedia production, office, software development, light entertainment, etc. Other ARM platforms, whether based on Android or Windows, are not as practical as Mac OS, let alone Windows plus x86. For example, most of our common 3A games are developed based on engines such as Unreal, which call Microsoft's DirectX interface at the bottom layer and then call NVIDIA or AMD graphics cards. They can only run on Windows plus x86 platforms. Other platforms need to be translated, and the efficiency is very poor. Popular games such as PUBG and Cyberpunk 2077 on the Windows plus x86 platform are equipped with top-level graphics cards, which are far beyond the performance of other platforms. Large-scale online games with a wide audience, such as League of Legends, World of Warcraft, Dota, etc., are also mainly run on Windows plus x86 platforms. Some productivity software such as 3D Max, Maya, AutoCAD, Premiere, Photoshop, Microsoft Office Suite, etc., although they also have versions for other platforms, are still the most complete, stable, and efficient on the Windows plus x86 platform. Countries around the world, from governments to enterprises, have a large number of historical stock software developed based on Windows plus x86. They have been running for many years. The update rhythm is very slow. Office workers rely heavily on them, and it is difficult to replace them. However, with the continuous progress of the ARM ecosystem, this technological hegemony is disintegrating. For example, the rise of mobile games has led to a strong challenge from the ARM platform to the PC in the gaming field. Some young people don't have computers at all, especially in some economically backward countries. It is a heavy burden to buy a mobile phone, and it is completely unnecessary to buy a PC. Popular games have launched mobile versions, such as PUBG. Although the picture quality is not as good as the computer version, many people play it. If there are people playing, game companies can make money and quickly iterate technology. Nowadays, high-end mobile games such as MiHoYo's Genshin Impact are no longer inferior to PC in terms of graphics. In China and some Asian countries, the user base of Honor of Kings has far exceeded that of League of Legends. Young consumers are addicted to mobile phones and tablets, and PCs have no appeal to them. Only middle-aged people discuss photo editing by PS, while young people have already easily done it through mobile phone software. Speaking of photo editing, in the field of productivity, it is obviously impossible to use the Mac ecosystem to replace Windows plus x86. This is not to say that Apple's equipment is not good, but it is very expensive. Mac Pro and MacBook cost thousands of dollars, which is not suitable for popularization in most countries. The cheapest Mac Mini can only be used for light office work, and Apple's ecosystem is also American. Using ARM plus Android or ARM plus Linux can produce a very cheap office platform. It's just that the current ecosystem is not perfect and difficult to popularize. The Chinese government has begun to gradually eliminate Windows from government procurement and replace it with domestic CPU plus Linux system. However, this behavior has been widely complained by civil servants who believe that it affects work efficiency. But the top leaders are determined, and grassroots governments can only use high prices and purchase domestic computers with only 1/3 of the efficiency of Windows plus x86 to cultivate the domestic ecosystem with real money. It's just that most of these so-called domestic software companies in China are related households, parasites, and shell companies. Their products are nothing but industrial garbage, and it is meaningless to cultivate these maggots with taxpayers' money. However, there are some exceptions. Some domestic software can already survive in normal market competition and provide good productivity. For example, Kingsoft's WPS Office Suite has no problem replacing the Office Suite in most government agencies and enterprises. WPS is a full platform product that supports mainstream platforms such as Windows, macOS, Android, and Linux. Its boss Lei Jun is also the boss of Xiaomi and is very powerful. The growth of WPS relies on its own competitiveness, not government subsidies. However, its existence makes it possible for government agencies to use domestic software because more than 90% of the government's work is document and image work. Without the existence of domestic software such as WPS, de-Americanization is impossible. Under the advocacy of the government, large software companies will also launch software products for platforms such as Linux, such as Tencent's WeChat and QQ, Alibaba's Alipay, and DingTalk. They also launch clients on all platforms, but there will be differences in functions. China's domestic chips include early x86 architecture chips authorized by American companies and self-developed Lungsan architecture, and their efficiency has basically reached that of American chips 10 years ago. However, with the release of HarmonyOS by Huawei, China's domestic software ecosystem will usher in an unprecedented breakthrough. Yes, HarmonyOS is the first domestic operating system developed by the world's top technology companies to be put into use on a large scale. It was developed by China's technology giant Huawei and can run on various hardware platforms. Its code quality is high, operation is stable, and performance is excellent. Huawei is not a relationship household or a parasite. It is a world-class technology company. It not only developed HarmonyOS, but also launched its self-developed high-silicon series chips, covering various fields such as mobile phones, PCs, TVs, cars, 5G, etc. More importantly, its latest chip has been separated from the ARM public version and uses the self-developed Taishan architecture, which is truly completely autonomous and controllable. Huawei's Kirin 9020 chip uses SMIC 7nm N+3 technology, which is close to TSMC's early 5nm process in terms of performance and is far stronger than the various garbage domestic chips mentioned above. In addition to Huawei, technology giants such as Xiaomi, Tencent, Alibaba, ByteDance, Baidu, DJI, and BYD are all designing their own chips. In the future, if China's chip manufacturing industry makes greater breakthroughs, the domestic ecosystem will be able to improve more quickly. Open Harmony Plus domestic chips can achieve complete autonomy and control. The government's long-term guidance requires mainstream software manufacturers to provide Harmony versions and continuously optimize and improve them. Otherwise, they will be regarded as unpatriotic and bear huge pressure. Huawei has pushed the HarmonyOS ecosystem to laptops and PCs, and government departments can finally say goodbye to the industrial garbage of their relatives and use domestic computers with good performance. To be honest, de-Americanization and de-Microsoftization is a long process. It depends largely on China's breakthroughs in chip manufacturing, Huawei's continuous research and development capabilities, the market acceptance of its products, and the determination of other domestic software manufacturers to run with it. After all, whether an ecosystem is prosperous in the end still depends on the market. From the popularity of Huawei mobile phones, it can be seen that the current development momentum of China's domestic ecosystem is good, but it also faces many difficulties. It should take 5 to 10 years to fully achieve complete autonomy and control of the software and hardware ecosystem. But at least for now, China no longer has to worry about the United States cutting off supply. Whether it is hardware or software, China can provide usable alternative versions.